The same crochet throw your grandmother owned can make a room look dated and dowdy, or make it look like the most collected, most expensive room on the street. The difference isn't the heirloom itself, it's 6 small rules for how you use it. Grandmillennial decor is having a huge moment right now. The chintz, the china, the ruffles, the needlepoint your grandmother loved but done wrong, it just looks old and tired. Done right, it looks timeless and rich. And number 1 is the one rule that saves every heirloom from looking dated. By the end, you'll be able to bring any heirloom into your home and have it look current instead of dated. And number 1 is the single rule that makes an old piece feel chosen, not inherited by accident. Making the old feel warm, collected, and current is the whole idea behind this channel. So let's start with rule number 6. Rule number 6, let each heirloom breathe, 1 per zone. Here's the mistake that dates a room instantly. When you love your grandmother's things, it's tempting to put them all out at once. The crochet throw, the china cabinet, the needlepoint pillows, the doilies, the ruffled lampshade, all in one room. But all together, they stop reading as treasures and start reading as a time capsule nobody thought to update. So spread them out across the room and across your other rooms. Let 1 heirloom own each zone, the crochet throw on the sofa, and nothing else granny-ish nearby. The china displayed in 1 single spot, alone. A lone needlepoint cushion, not a matched row of 5. Store the rest, and rotate them in over the seasons if you like. When each old piece has clean, quiet space around it, your eye reads it as a chosen treasure instead of clutter left over from another decade. It's the same reason a museum puts 1 vase in a case instead of piling 20 on a shelf. 1 heirloom per zone, and each one finally gets room to shine. The rule, give each heirloom its own breathing room. Now let's fix what sits behind those heirlooms. That's rule number 5. Rule number 5, ground the frills against clean, modern lines. And I know the instinct of frilly, ruffled, chintz-covered piece feels like it belongs in a frilly, ruffled room. But pile ornate on top of ornate, and the whole room reads fussy and old. The fix is contrast. Set your most ornate heirlooms against the cleanest, plainest backdrop you have. Put the flowery chintz armchair against a smooth, solid painted wall in a quiet color. Hang the ornate gilt mirror over a simple, straight-lined console table. Rest the ruffled, embroidered cushion on a plain, undyed linen sofa. The clean, modern lines around the heirloom make it look deliberate and fresh. Instead of just old-fashioned, the plainness acts like a frame around a painting. Ornate against plain reads as a curated choice. Ornate against ornate just reads as a room that time forgot. The rule, ground ornate heirlooms against clean, plain backdrops. Next, let's talk about refreshing the piece itself, rule number 4. Rule number 4, refresh the piece. Don't treat it like a relic. A lot of heirlooms look dated simply because they're still wearing their original 1970s fabric or finish. So give the piece a small, respectful update, not a full makeover. Just fresh clothes. Reupholster your grandmother's beautifully carved chair in a current fabric, a natural linen, a soft muted velvet, a modern stripe, and keep that gorgeous old frame exactly as it is. Repaint the dated dark brown dresser in a warm, current color, and swap the old handles for simple brass ones. Take the yellowed shade off the antique lamp and replace it with a clean linen one. You're keeping the soul, the shape, the history. You're only updating the surface the eye lands on first. That one small refresh is what moves a piece from Grandma's spare room straight into a design magazine. The bones were always beautiful. You're just giving them current clothes. The rule. Refresh the heirloom's surface. Keep its soul. Halfway there, and rule number 1 is still ahead. We're halfway. But number 1 is the rule that saves any heirloom from looking dated, no matter what it is, and it's the simplest one in the whole video. Stay for it, because once you know it, you'll never be afraid to use an old piece again. Rule number 3. Pull a tight palette from one heirloom and keep everything else quiet. Heirlooms often come in rich, busy patterns, and if every piece in the room has its own busy palette, the whole space looks chaotic and old. The fix is to let one special heirloom lead the colors. Look at your favorite piece, say, a floral needlepoint pillow, and pull just 2 or 3 colors out of it. Then keep everything else in the room quiet, in those same few tones. Watch the room settle, clashing patterns everywhere felt dated and busy, but one heirloom leading a tight palette feels intentional and current. A disciplined palette makes even the frilliest heirloom look designed. The rule: pull a tight palette from one heirloom, keep the rest quiet. 2 rules left, and number 2 breaks the spell of the time capsule. If this is already changing how you see the old pieces in your own home, that's exactly what this channel is. For a warm, collected home that honors the past on a real budget. Rule number 2 is one of my favorites. Rule number 2. Break the time capsule with one clearly modern piece. A room made entirely of heirlooms, no matter how lovely, always reads as a museum of another decade frozen, not lived in. So drop in one piece that is unmistakably now. A sleek modern floor lamp arcing over the antique settee. A piece of bold, graphic, contemporary art hung above the china cabinet. A simple, clean-lined coffee table sitting in the middle of all that history. Even a modern rug under the old furniture will do it. That one current piece acts like a timestamp. It quietly tells everyone this room is of today, and it just happens to be full of beautiful old things on purpose because you chose them. Without it, the room belongs to the past. With it, the past belongs to you. The rule: add one clearly modern piece to break the spell. And that brings us to number 1, the rule behind every fresh Grandmillennial room. Rule number 1. Isolate the heirloom. This is the rule that saves any old piece from looking dated, and it's the simplest move in the whole video. Most people surround a special heirloom with more old, fussy things, trying to help it fit in, and instead they bury it, so the whole corner just reads as dated. Do the opposite. Take your single best heirloom one crochet throw, one piece of hand-painted china, one embroidered pillow, and set it against something clean and simple. That crochet throw draped over a plain, crisp linen sofa, that china plate hung alone on a bare, painted wall, that needlepoint cushion sitting by itself on a modern chair. When one treasured old thing sits against calm simplicity, all the eye sees is the treasure. The simplicity says this was chosen. The isolation says this matters. That's the whole secret of Grandmillennial done right. Not more granny, but one piece of granny, framed like art. One heirloom, beautifully alone, and the room looks collected instead of dated. The rule: isolate one heirloom against clean simplicity. So here's how to use Grandmillennial decor without looking dated, in 6 rules. 6. Give each heirloom its own breathing room. 5. Ground ornate heirlooms against clean, plain backdrops. 4. Refresh the heirloom's surface, keep its soul. 3. Pull a tight palette from one heirloom, keep the rest quiet. 2. Add one clearly modern piece to break the spell. And number 1, isolate one heirloom against clean simplicity. Follow those 6, and your grandmother's treasures will look timeless, not dated. If you want to see this collected, old meets new look built into one whole living room, that video is on your screen right now, and it uses these same ideas from start to finish. I'll see you there.